So sorry about that. I meant to do it in one take, but bad me. I forgot something very important. We're going to take the stuffing, and we're going to stuff the little leg all the rest of the way up. We're just going to add the stuffing, and I just work it in with my fingers. I know some people use a tool or whatever, but I just work it in and work it down into the leg. We want it to stop any beads from coming out anytime, say, the felt comes off. So I just want this nicely filled up. And I might overstuff the legs a little bit in some, but as you love the doll and move the doll and all of that, the stuffing works down. The stuffing compacts, obviously. Therefore, I would rather have them a little overstuffed than not have enough stuffing in it and have it feel wrong. Because to me, the feel of the baby is just as important as the look. Just got to get the glue put on it. Again. Okay. I'm going to take another one here. We're going to just make this thin and spread it so that it covers all around the hole. Okay. And then we're just going to put our little pack back on. And there you go. It's a leg ready. Again, I work it in so that it's nice and stuff. I make sure there's no glue. And we have a little leg. Now let's work on the other little leg. We have the glass beads in. It's all worked down, so now we're going to stuff. And again, it takes a few minutes, but I know you wanted to see the actual birth. And I wasn't sure if you just wanted to see her head put on or if you wanted to see the whole process. So, I am doing the whole process for you. And like I say, to me, this is just as important as painting her, because I want her to feel right. You know, that's really important. I know that, some people think that the most important part is the painting, and it's very important. Don't get me wrong. It's very important that she be painted and look real. But in my opinion, having her feel like a real baby is important too. Just drop that right on her. Get off me. So, let's get... And they don't have to be completely round. They really just need to fit over the hole really well, so they've got a little bit of spaces on outside everywhere. And if I have too much, if I get a little bit of glue elsewhere, then we'll just clean that up. It's all on the inside. You'll never see it, but I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my babies. So, all right, second footy done. Arm time. And the arms are done the exact same way. The only difference is they have somewhat less, obviously. And it's a little more difficult to get it worked into the hand because, well, for obvious reasons. The arms are bent a little more and they're a little harder. But I do the same thing. Work it into their little hands. Pat it down. That's good. And then we stuff. And again, I like to make sure it's really well down in there. And you don't have to watch this whole thing if you don't want, and if you want to, I think it's great. Like I said, you wanted to see the quote-unquote, what I call the birth. And so I thought I'd videotape the whole thing. And other people may want to see it at some point if they have questions about putting a baby together. Nicely stuffed. And we do the exact same thing we did with the legs. We get a little glue. Make sure that that's there. And I just push the glue up. You can go ahead and if you were ever going to do it, you know. Don't do that. Luckily, it doesn't get on anything. Okay. Clean it up. And again, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, I guess. But I like my babies to be right. And you've got, you've got Gracie and Alexander, so you know what I like to do with my babies. You know how I like them to feel. Okay? And it helps to let the glue set a little bit before you put this on it. I don't know exactly why. I love this felt. And it's like 33 cents. You can buy plugs that you can put over the doll, the end, or put in it actually. You can buy plugs, but I honestly don't see why spending money on it, on some things that you plug in, when you can do it this way. But there's another reason as well. I think the plugs make the doll's arm, because it catches all the air and everything, I think it makes it hard. With these, they are a little, you've got a little bit of, that was stupid, Marta. You got a little bit of airflow. Not a lot. They're pretty much get there and they're airtight, but you have a little bit of an airflow. And to me, it just makes it feel more real. I don't know. For me, it just literally makes it feel more like a real baby. And again, I just round them off. And then I will cut what I need to. Like, this is going to be too big. And you can measure it ahead of time. But my uncle used to tell me, measure twice, cut once. And apparently I didn't listen. A little bit smaller. So, and again, it really isn't, you don't need it, because everything is so stuffed. You know, I put so much stuffing in it that you don't really have to worry about it. However, I put a piece of felt and fell in. Okay, let's get this done. Funnel in. Glass beads. Let them flow. sure there's none on here. Okay, I need a little bit more. And I try to be super careful because you don't want to get the glass beads on the floor. The poly pellets are one thing. I'll clean those up easily. But the glass beads, if you get them on the floor, oof, those are difficult to clean up. We're going to work it into the hand. Isn't that a precious little hand? Yep, there we go. And now we're going to stuff. The head we do a little differently because I don't put loose beads in the head. I don't put loose anything in the head. Everything is confined. And there's a reason for that. You know, you have the blood vessels and you have the blood flow and all in the head, obviously, like you do in the arms and legs. But you also have the brain. And I think, this is just my opinion, but I feel like having a bag with the beads in it, you know, feels more realistic. And again, that's my goal when it comes to making these dolls, is realism. To me, realism is the key. And I talk a lot while I do this, as you probably figured out. I talk to myself even when I'm not videotaping. But I think I've told you before, I spent a long time by myself with nobody else, just me and the animals that I had all the time. So I spent a lot of time learning to talk to myself. Okay. Another little hand. Okay. Now, the head. Okay, here's how I do the head. First of all, head. Okay, I put some in first. Okay, and just so you know, she has hair magnets on both sides. And then she's got her little binky magnet. Let me find it. Right in there. So, I put a little bit of stuffing in to begin with. Okay? Just to give a little bit of, I don't know, fluff. Makes me feel like it's more realistic. And I just made an ungodly mess because I forgot I didn't seal that. Here we go. And I forgot to grab what I need for that. Let me grab down here. Sorry about bending so close. Okay, here we go. Here's the trick for me with these. Okay, first of all, I pull it and I wrap it with its built-in ties. And then I tie them. Okay. Now, with some babies, the trick is you have to put the beads in. You have to put the bag in the head. And I don't know whether we're going to have to with her or not. We're going to look. If we do, I'm not going to put the zip on yet because I can always untie this. And I will tie it in a knot when we see. Here we go, sweetheart. Come here. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do it this way. So, and that's some babies, some dolls, some of their kits, whatever you want to call it, have a wider hole than others. That sounds horrible. But it happens. Okay, here we go. We're going to start like this. We're going to work this into her head. We're just going to work it in. We've got some in there already. All right. And we're just going to put this out like this. wish this, let me get a smaller. Yeah, let me just get this. Ow, I pinched myself. There we go. That hurt. Alright, we'll just put this in here with this one. And we're just going to put all of this that we had in it. And I measured it so I know about what the weight's going to be. And after you watch this, before I pack her up, if you say, oh, no, I want the head a little bit more, or I want it a little less, or I want it something else, make sure you call me. We shake her little head, because that moves this down. We shake the little bag again. And then we add some more. I'm very careful, normally, not to get anything loose in the head. And that's just because I don't like the sound. It doesn't feel and it doesn't sound realistic. But again, I just shake the bag. What I'm doing is working all these beads down into the bag, into the deep. And we're just going to keep on doing this until we have it all in there. Because it'll get to the point where it doesn't want to put any more in. So that's when you gotta shake the baby. Yeah, I know. We shouldn't shake a baby. But unfortunately, in some cases... Hey, come back here. In some cases, shaking the baby is an absolute necessity. Alright. And again, we cover this and we just shake it in. Up and down, around and around. Just... because I'd like to get the rest of this in there. Okay, we'll see. Alright. Now again, I'm going to work it down. Okay, then I'm going to use this. And I'm going to tie these strings around, and I'm going to tie these in a knot. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to tie these down here a little low. I'm just going to tie them a few times because I want it nice and secure. I don't want it to come open and spill beads anywhere in the doll. And so I want to make very sure that it doesn't. Which, what did I do with those? I had that. I do this all the time. I am horribly bad at misplacing something, and you wouldn't think, because I haven't moved really. That really hurt. I haven't moved, so they should be right here, and I'm sure they are. I'm sure I'm just not seeing them, but I do need them, so I have to look for them. So give me a second. Let me see if I can pause this. I put them away. Okay, back to what we were doing. Now that I've got this tied in a knot, I'm going to put the zip tie around it, and I'm going to seal it with a zip tie toward the top. I want it all in there, and I want it nice and tight. And then I am just going to snip this tie off. There we go. And then we're going to let this go back. We're going to put that in there. We're going to work it into there a little bit. All right. Then we're going to add more stuffing to the head. You don't want to overstuff it. You want it to still move around a little bit, just because it changes the weight. It changes the way the weight is done. So you don't want to overstuff the head. I think some people really do. They really overstuff. Okay, here we go. Her head is done. Her legs and her arms are done. Now comes the next fun part. Let me get this moved over here. We're going to make another bag. And we're probably going to make 2 bags because she's a little heavier. So, I can put about 1 pound to 1.25 pounds in each of these bags. And we're going to measure here. It's not even close. You ready? There we go. 10.8 ounces. So we need some more. Let's work it down. And we're going to put our funnel back in. And we're going to work on, and we're going to add some more. And you can actually, if you were ever doing it, you could actually add that on the scale. I do sometimes. Sometimes I don't. If I wasn't such a klutz, I would just, pour it in a bag. But I'm a klutz. 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. So let's see if we can get just a little more in here. Because she's a heavier doll, I want her weight, I want her core, which is what I'm doing now. That's what this weight is here, is her core weight. Okay. £1 5 ounces. That'll work. Okay. Then again, we're going to tying this one, and sometimes this gets a little bit confusing, but usually I get it eventually. Because we're going to tie this now right over here. And again, we're going to put a nice little zip tie around it. Because I like to make very sure that my ties don't, or my beads don't come apart. And I got these little bitty ones. So here we go. Okay, put this through here. And okay, that one's done. And now that's good. Okay. Now, I'm not going to fill this one quite as much because I have a method. Okay? But we are going to put in some weight. Takes time. See how much that is. 7.4 ounces. I think I'm going to put a little more in. Because this is going to be behind her butt. Which should make her, if you wanted to, brace up a little bit better. I mean, at 4 months old, they're just starting to fall over a lot, but they're just starting to, you know, sit up. 11, I think. Okay, I'm going to put just a wee teeny tiny bit more in. And then when I seal this one, I do it a little differently. Okay. When I seal this one, I do it toward the top, and I leave a little bit of empty. And again, there's a method to my madness. We're going to here. We're going to tie this off. And what this is going to do is when I put it down toward the butt, it's going to give that weight down on both cheeks. Because you don't want one cheek heavier than the other. So, okay. All right. Here's this one. And if I need to fill another one to do a little bit more weight, I will. And again, with the zip tie. And again, it's a little bit of probably over caution, because it's probably absolutely fine with just the ties. And I know most people, or a lot of people, even if they use nylons, they don't use the zips. They just, all they do is, just tie it in a knot. And you can't. I just prefer to take it a little bit better. Okay. All right. Now comes the part you've been waiting for. We have a body. Now, this is all from experience. I tried when I first started putting them together. I tried to put all the weighting and everything in, because there's nothing in here. It's not, you can't get through to the body. But I have found, in my infinite wisdom, that it is easier to put the limbs on first. Because you can't access the internal body anywhere except for the head anyway. Because again, they've got these. They're solid in here. You can't get to the body through these leg holes or the arm holes, either one. So we're going to put this on. We're going to tighten this down. Not completely tight. Just hand tightened. Not pulled or anything. Because I'm not ready for that yet. I want to adjust. And I don't want to tighten it too tight because I want her to move relatively freely. Yeah. And again, not really super tight. She's already looking at like a baby. And then we're going to put these, because they just thread them. They don't actively put these in here. So I always get them ready. Because sometimes you've got your hands full doing other things, and it's really hard to get this all done when you're trying to also hold. Okay. Thumbs up. And yeah, I've put them in the wrong side upon occasion and had to go through and remove the limbs. So I always check with my body and make sure that everything works. Because like I said, I actually have put them on wrong. And then you got to clip the stuff and remove it, and it can be a royal pain, trust me. All right, here we go. We're going to tighten this just a little bit just to keep it in. All right. Now comes the fun part. You've got this cute little bum, and we want that cute little bum to be all filled out. So, the first thing, the butts. This is not the only kind I use. I use some that are kind of fillet shaped. Let me get the adhesive out. These are actually made to go in a bra. So, don't want to lose that adhesive. Yeah, this is... Just put that right there. Put this right here. Okay. Got the adhesive on. Now we're going to pull this out. Because it's double-sided adhesive, obviously. I have a... This is the worst part. For me. There we go. That's one. Two. Okay. Now, I put that on the wrong side. Okay. I put that on the wrong side. Thankfully, it won't hurt anything if I have to leave it. Or I can pull it out and I have more. There we go. Alright. You want to put them on this side because this is the side that's going to go against. I haven't got that one done yet, so we'll just put it over here. Alright. Okay. See why I say it's workable? It's not always fully easy. Now you're going to go through the head. You're going to get your hand in here. And you're going to work this down a little bit. And then nicely get it. And you got a butt. And yeah. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Let go. Make sure. Yep, alright. Get this one in. And do. Oops. The adhesive stuck to my hand. Okay. One more time with feeling. Here we go. Come on, baby. We're just gonna pull it up here. And there we go. All right. There we go. Little butt. Now, in order to make it stay better than the adhesive, because the adhesive may not last for a long time, we're going to take some of our regular, because I use 2 to 3 different kinds. This is super soft. That's for specific. This is regular stuffing. And we're going to put the stuffing in and we're going to work it nicely down into the body. Like so. And we don't want to get too much. Even though she's got a bigger body than some, we want to make sure those are in their place. And then you just want to pack that in nicely. Make sure there's no. Make sure it's nice and straight. And you want to pack it in there so it holds everything in place. And the leg just fell off because I didn't tighten it enough. Therein lies the thing. I don't want to get it too tight, but you need to get it tight enough it stays. And that's a kind of a trial by fire. Because, like I said, it's just, I don't want it too tight, Well, that explains that one. I forgot. I thought I tightened it, but I didn't get it through the hole yet. All right, here we go. This hole will do it. Okay, there we go. Anyway, back to what we were doing. We're going to pack all of this in. And we're going to keep that nice and taut. Keep that nice and taut. Like that. Okay. Now, we're going to put some more stuffing in. And again, this is my super soft. And it is literally super soft. And I use that around the tummy area. And sometimes I'll use it around the butt area. But because these are good size, I don't really need to. All right. Now, before we put any more in, okay, we're going to put this small piece. And we're going to put this right in here on the butt. Put a little bit of stuffing around it. And we're going to put a little stuffing inside. You want to get it right between their little front legs, too. I know, that sounds a bit rude, but you know what I mean. You just want to work this all in good. All right. Now, comes the next part. And that is the tum-tum. And I just dropped the tummy. Let me grab it. All right. This is the tummy. This is actually meant to go in a pair of panties to make your butt bigger. That's what it's actually meant for. But it is the perfect shape for a tummy. So let's peel this adhesive. Okay, here we go. Get that right done. All right. Come on, baby, stick. All right. This is not wanting to stick, so I'm just going to get another piece of adhesive. Let me just grab another piece of adhesive here. I have another couple of pieces. There we go. And these come in a set of 2. Which gives me 2 babies. The bra ones that I make the butts out of only come in 1 set. So it's just 1 baby with the butt. But I can make 2 babies. So that is, I have Samson's tummy down there. And I need to get another set of butts for Samson. Alright, and we're going to work this down. We're going to work it down into the body where we want it. And then when we get it where we want it, then we're going to just adhesive it along. And then you've got a chubby little tummy. Chubby little tummy, oh, soft with fluff. Sorry. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Now we're going to take our stuffing and we're going to make a hole in the middle. And we're going to get this. And I want this right down there. And I want some stuffing on top of it. And we're going to have some And then we're going to put the core weight in. And that we're just going to sit right in here, literally in the center of the baby. And then we're going to take some super soft, and it literally says super soft. And we're going to take this, and we're going to pack it behind and around the tummy. And that gives the baby, in my opinion, a little softness around, along the sides, love handles, that sort of thing. So, that's just my opinion. After 20 babies, this is 21. All right, then we have that in. And then what we're going to do, so I'm going to put a little more back here because I don't like the way her back is looking. So I'm going to put a little more stuffing in the back here. So she has a little bit of, it all works. And it's nice and rounded. Now I got Winnie the Pooh stuck in my head, darn it. All right. We're going to put that in. We're going to work it down under the arms. And of course, if you do not like the stuffing, you can take some out yourself, or you can send her back to me and I'll take it out. Or you can tell me before I send her. And I will take some out. What do you think? Need a little bit more, I think. Just a little more here around the chest area. All right. Now it's important to get it the right amount of stuffing because you don't want her to be loose, but you do want to have some flop. So, all right. I'm going to put just tiniest bit more in, just right up top. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, Denise? We are about to have a birth. Okay. Oops, let me do something first. Yep. Oh, goodness. So sorry about that. So sorry. I teased you, but I need to put this together first because I don't want to do the leg again. All right, here we go. This is it. Put her head in. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot the most important part. My goodness. Where did I put those? I can't forget this part. This is the most important part. Hold on. Let me find what I'm looking for. I put it in here, but I think I moved it. Give me a sec. Okay. Whew, I almost forgot. The most important part. I forgot to add her heart. Gotta get her heart in there. Now, here we go. Put everything together. And we're gonna hold her little head. And we're gonna tighten. And there we go. 437. Samantha Miller, welcome to the world. We're going to make very, very sure that she is very carefully cared for. She'll have all of her stuff You can see her head's going to still be a little floppy, but she'll sit up a little bit better because she's got some weight on her. Her legs will turn. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to tighten it over a little bit more so that they don't come off. Okay, then we're going to take a pair of fingernail clippers. This is my trick. And we're going to work really close to the zip tie head. We're going to clip off the extra. And if I need to, I will go ahead and sand it down a little bit if I need to, if it's sharp. Most of them aren't, but sometimes you get a little bit of sharpness to it. But you go in here and clip those, let her little legs, and tighten it up just a little, and clip. Didn't get that one done. Clip, and tighten it up just a little bit, and clip. 4/37, February 28th, 2023. I hope you love her as much as I love making her. Say bye, Mommy. I'll see you soon.